What Did We Learn is brought to you by Fortis College. Visit fortis.edu.
Now I'm joined by the Houston Chronicle's Chandler Rome to talk about the managerial search for the Houston Astros. So Chandler, what have we learned so far?
So they've interviewed 3 people and there's a 4th one coming on Monday. They've interviewed veteran managers Buck Showalter, John Gibbons, Cubs third base coach Will Venable, kind of an unknown, a guy that's never had a managerial job, but he's kind of in the A.J. Hinch model, a young guy that's a real up-and-comer. And then on Monday, they'll interview Dusty Baker, the veteran manager that's been to 4 teams now and won a pennant. He's won 3 Manager of the Year titles.
Now, out of all of these guys, who would you say, is the favorite so far?
I'm not sure if we know yet. If you believe the odds, and if you believe Vegas has odds for everything, if you believe the Vegas odds, it's Buck Showalter. I'm not sure that's the case. I don't think they're really going to narrow it down until Jim Crane finishes his interview process. And Jim Crane said that interview process is going to drag into next week. I would expect 2 or 3 other candidates to interview next week, and one of them being Astros bench coach Joe Espada, who's been on the staff for 2 years.
Right. Are the players eventually going to have to speak, or can they get away with what Alex Bregman tried at FanFest?
Eventually they're going to have to, and I just wrote this, and I think a lot of us are writing this now, that this isn't going away. I think a lot of maybe fans and people in the organization and players think that if they just no comment, it'll just go away and people will stop caring. This is the biggest scandal since 1919 in baseball. This is not going to go away anytime soon. Someone's going to have to take some responsibility. Jose Altuve was very eloquent today. He took all the questions head on, but if you went back and you listened to him, there wasn't much responsibility taken. There wasn't much of anything done to right the ship or really explain to people what happened. And until someone does that, the questions are going to linger.
With everything that has happened and what we did learn today at FanFest and how they're going to move forward, when do you think that this information would come out from the players, that they will speak upon this?
So they report to spring training on February 12th, and who I'm really interested to hear from, I'm very interested to hear from Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander is a guy throughout his career with the Tigers. He spoke out against sign stealing. He's spoken out against cheating in all forms. He's a big advocate of punishing those who test positive for performance-enhancing drugs. He's a big advocate of their suspensions. He spoke at Detroit about how much he loathed sign stealing. To have his one championship of a Hall of Fame career tarnished in this way, I'm very interested to hear what Justin Verlander has to say about this whole scandal, because I know he came over late in the 2017 season, but he had to know what was going on. And what he has to say, he is the head honcho in that clubhouse. His tone may dictate what tone the Astros take the entire season. So I would look in February when the team reports to spring training. I would imagine the first full day of full squad workouts, there are going to be upwards of 50 media members in that clubhouse from all corners of the United States, national media, local media, that want the same answers we tried to get at FanFest today.
All right. Thank you so much, Chandler. Chandler Rome of the Houston Chronicle.